Hey guys, this is Angelos. I will be bringing you a 3v3 online video thingamabob today, and I will be playing with Pinks and Marley, and thankfully I can now commentate on the replay thanks to one of the patches, and I only knew about this recently thanks to Ace Blazer, or Ace Blazer, depends how you want to say his name. Yeah, been a little delay since my last video. I uploaded one about two and a half weeks ago, but I didn't really upload properly. It's like stuck in processing forever, and then I needed to re-upload it because it was YouTube's fault. It would take me too long, and I'm lazy, so I couldn't be bothered. I've left it up there. If you haven't watched it, maybe skip through it. It's about 35 minutes long. It's a bit long, but it's interesting. If you want to see me get my ass kicked, there you go. Right, in this one I'll be playing, as I said, with Pinks, who's Pontus, Marley. Marley and Pinks both had channels. Marley's not been on YouTube for a while. Can't remember what his YouTube name was. Nubgas, was it? Yeah, that was it. I'm playing as Pontus. Pinks is playing as Pontus as well, and Marley's playing as Egypt. And just skimming through the builds, I was in the middle, Pinks was on the right, and of course Marley's on the left as he's Egypt. My opponents are one's playing as Parthia with this enormous great big cav spam. One's playing as Egypt in the centre, and one's playing as Rome on my far right. Okay, so there's a reason now I've showed you this. It's actually a really good battle. It might look horrendous because Parthia and cav spam. You're thinking to yourself, God, this is going to be horrible. Well, it's not actually. These two guys were in a clan, him and the Egyptian, and they knew one another. The Egyptian like moans at me later on for what I do, and I'll explain about it later. So basically, the initial fight starts over on Marley's side with the Parthian. He, for some reason, focuses all of his missile fire onto the one unit that's in the wood, and it does, takes about 20 men away, but all of his men are like bunched up outside of the wood with no cover bonus. They get a bit obliterated, frankly. His main focus is to be on this very weird column charge with his cataphracts. It looks like he's going to initially charge into his Rhodian slingers. He goes around the pike line, swings round the gap here, and goes into Marley's slingers. I think Marley was a little bit unprepared for that, and he tries to move the pikes back into formation, but they get stuck. I see it, so I move some Pontic Royal Cav over, or whatever they're called, to charge into the cataphracts back. I'm not sure what you make of that. I don't think it's a fair trade, sacrificing a cataphract, which costs 1,020 for a Rhodian slinger, and that costs 570. And he's already got 3 more, and basically that cataphract's going to get squished. Got elephants coming in as well, and he withdraws his Rhodians through the elephant screen. If you could really call an elephant screen, I'm not really sure. His pikes are facing the wrong way as well, but he'll turn them round, and that unit will get killed. Over here is basically just a little bit of skirmishing. I've got half my slingers in the wood, half of them out of the wood, and my guy's twisting his Rhodians round to fire at the units at the wood. I see this, I move some free slingers forward to try to attack them while they're moving. He sees that, counters with a light cav. Now a little bit of to and fro over here. I also have a light cav hidden in the wood. I send it out, drives his light cav away. Mine's better because I got Celtic light horse, but I make an absolute bloody tit wank of a mistake in a few seconds, as you will see. I'm not sure, it wasn't really an intentional thing. I just misjudged a few things, as you'll notice. I don't pan in on it with my camera because I'm focusing on this, which is a bit silly of me, because that part over there is more important. Anyway, here he sends another cataphract in a weird column formation. This is not the same one that was involved in the fight earlier. That one's dead. After my cav that came in behind him, Marley intercepts it with a light cav and some carrion axemen. Now this is the mistake I make. I charge into his light cav, which are outside the line, just outside my line. I mean, I get a good charge on them, kill about half, but I should have pressed the attack rather than turn round, because when I turn my back I get slung to shit by his Rhodians, and I lose almost the entire unit in one volley because I turn away their shield facing side. And here, this is amusing to me. On my left side I've got Pontic Swordsman. It's not the strongest Pontic build. Basically, if you want to be like a really strong Pontic build, you gotta have like all flipping bronze shields, but I prefer having a diverse army. So I have one unit in shield wall that absorbs the impact of the cataphract charge, and I have another one also in shield wall, but I break it out and fling it round the side of that cataphract, and then swing round and attack it with one cav. There's a lot of movements going to be going on here. One cav goes for the cataphract as well. The other one does a feign charge on his slinger line to push that away. Then I'm going to do another. I'm going to swing that cav round and charge into this cataphract unit. I tried to shift my Pontic swordsman into a better position to brace for that charge, but they didn't get there in time and got squished. And that is what happens when you don't have your units in shield wall as a sword unit, or if they're moving, basically. Here I'm forced into a charge against more cataphracts. There's about 6 of them will be engaged soon. This is a lot of cataphracts attacking me. I use a unit of bronze shields over, and yet another unit of cataphracts is coming in on this side. I do another feign charge on the Egyptian slinger line to keep him out of the fight as quickly as I can, and then I move the bronze shield into play against his cataphracts on this side while Marley sends in, I think that's Ptolemaic Cav, yeah I think it is, against the rear of that cataphract. So pushing his skirmishers away, I then do a hammer and anvil assault on the back of these engaged cataphracts. I've noticed I'm not using what's it called, Stampede, because I need my unit's speed and I don't want them getting exhausted for now anyway, because I will need to pull them out of these fights quite quickly and escape from other cavalry. Marley intercepts the Parthian general with his elephants. The Parthian guy was a bit ambitious there, thinking he could take out Marley's elephants, sorry, with his cataphracts. That's not going to happen. I disengage my general and one of the Pontic cav, but I've got to keep a large force engaged with the Parthian whilst I withdraw my central line. The Egyptian didn't like this. He basically wanted me to stand there and get raped by his Hellenic Royal Guard, and he was not best impressed that I ran away from it. He's got all my left wings engaged here with all this Parthian stuff, so I've got no manoeuvrability or flexibility whatsoever. Now, there's a number of things happening here. I'm pulling back my central line. He's trying to get after my slingers with his Ptolemaic cav. I've got to try and block that off with my general and another unit. Now, you also noticed that the cataphracts went for a gap and hit my phalanx in the back. Now, I managed to turn it round even though they were engaged, and all of those cataphracts will die. Unfortunately, I tried to do a hammer and anvil, well, not hammer and anvil, there's no bloody anvil, but a rear assault charge on that 4x pikeman before he drags it in onto that left side fight. Unfortunately, he does turn it around at the last second, and I lose about a quarter of one of the units, which was bad for me, and I didn't kill a single thing. But I've got to keep his cav pinned in whilst I reform my line. I see that as an opportunity to move my line, to take his cav out, so I pin it with my cav and then move a pike unit up. On here there's the left side fights. This is massive flipping bum rush, really. I can't really describe it in any other way. There's so much crap going on. There's Marley's Egyptians, you got the guys Parthians, you got my Pontic guys, you got flipping Galatians in there, and then you got this 4x pikeman coming over. Now this is what I'm meaning, which I was trying to explain earlier, is I move my units. It's hard to explain without actually doing it live, but basically instead of doing an attack order like he's done on me, I just reform my men in a line facing towards the likely direction that the pike unit will approach from, and basically whilst he's trying to reform and attack me at the same time, my units reform and attack at the exact same time, because then I don't know why, it just seems to be like a little bug with the attack order, and it's really hard to explain, but basically there's a way of getting around. If your guys are being hit in the back, you can still turn them round and get their pikes out, so they're more useful than basically just standing there and getting slaughtered. What's happening here? Oh, this is his Galatian he sent over on my other flank, and whilst I've engaged that and held his left flank, I tried to get in an attack and kill all of his slingers off with my depleted cav. Now if I'd saved that until this point, it would have killed all of his flipping slingers off. Unfortunately, there's only like 10 men left and they do nothing. I withdraw my cav from this fight with the Galatians and the Ptolemaic cav. I unfortunately lose a bronze shield there, and I've lost my 2 Pontic swordsmen over here, but they've held the line for long enough. They've helped kill about 3 or 4 cataphract units, and that's more than enough for what I expected them to do. He routs the last unit. His Galatian routs the last unit, but it's taken so long that I'm going to kill that Galatian over there, which is nice. That's the death of my Celtic light horse to his Ptolemaic cav and his Rhodian slingers. Unfortunate, but it was bound to happen, really. Again, the Egyptians pushing on me, and I'm having to withdraw because, as you can see, I'm separated all over the place, and I cannot do front charge bronze shields against Hellenics because I will die. Now here you see, this is what I mean, I'm reforming instead of attacking, so I just basically done a movement order facing the direction where the Galatians come from, so they keep their pikes out, and then I turn around when I see the Ptolemaics coming, and then they all charge straight into that. He wasn't expecting that, which was convenient. Also, when the Galatians are doing an attack order, they're not actually right up in your backside, if you know what I mean. So you've got a bit of breathing space, allowing you to move your pikes back and forth, but slightly easier. Now, whilst that's happening, he unfortunately manages to get that blasted Ptolemaic cav through my line whilst I'm reforming. This causes a little bit of panic from me whilst I try to reform my line. As you can see, everything's all over the place at the moment. I'm trying to move my slingers around to shoot at his cav. I'm also trying to move my pikemen back to hit his cav. And I'm also focusing on this side where I'm trying to kill the other Ptolemaic cav off. Marley's come along. Parthian guy's dead by now, by the way, if you hadn't realised. All his katas are dead, and he had a few like bits and bobs of crap that they all died horribly. So, but I'm focusing more on my side because I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm thinking, I should say. So I pin his unit in with my Pontic swordsman here, and he won't be able to get out of that, and that will slaughter his remaining cavalry. So he's basically sacrificed his cav for a slinger, which is what the Parthian did at the start. I wouldn't say it was a fair trade-off, to be fair. So I've still got 4 units of slingers left, and now he has no cav. I can basically manoeuvre around his pipeline with my slingers, and I'm going to be shooting them in the sides and in the rear, whilst I still run away like a pansy with my main line. Pinks wasn't best happy about this. You may notice I haven't said anything about Pinks, basically because I had to withdraw, his left flank was exposed, he then had to withdraw, and now he's in a freaking like fortified noob box formation, bracing against the Egyptians' left flank and the entire Roman army that's coming at him. He was forced into that by me, and he wasn't best pleased at the time. There was many girly screams he echoed at me over the microphone. Luckily, I haven't recorded any of them. Alright, here I'm going. This time, I myself was annoyed because he was saying, he was kind of like insulting me, saying, "Kite more, bro, so gay, yada yada yada," and I was getting pissed off with that. So I decided to just hold the line in the trees and see how well my guys could hold off Hellenics. But instead, for some reason, he reforms the line in a manner to attack Pink. So I move out of the wood and try to take him in the flank. And then I have a change of heart, think, no, actually I'm not going to try against that Hellenic and run off. I try to 2v1 this Hellenic, my bronze shield gets absolutely annihilated, but I get a hammer and anvil strike on this unit. But my other unit, which you can see in the background, went into the other pike, he reversed it, and it absolutely destroyed my 2 cav. But this allows my bronze shield to come up and then knacker him. So he's doing an attack order, you can see. They pull their pikes away, they break their swords out, and now they're going to get slaughtered because now I've got them in close quarters with swords unit, and swords beat pikes in close quarters like that. Again, you can see he's trying to take me in the flank. I do another movement order, pull him round, and face them towards the Galatians, so it's and then the Galatians die. There's only a few left in that Galatian unit, but it gives them better bracing and better damage resistance against the sword unit, and that routes them. There's only 30 of them, but it just shows a bit more about how to use, pikes properly. Rather than doing attack orders, it's basically movement orders are the way to do it. Again, here I go up against his Hellenics one-on-one, mano el mano. I actually win. Somehow I lose about a third of the unit though, and that unit's being shot in the back by Pinks and my slingers. Over here, not so lucky. The Hellenic Royal Guard basically obliterates my unit down to 8 men. But because I've got a larger army, and I don't know, I've got the element of luck on my side. 8 men in that unit don't rout, at least not initially. They will rout in a few seconds, but not during the fight, which is kind of convenient. And well, here there's only one guy left now. The Egyptian's dead. Me and Marley sorted that, and I'm Pinks. And this is the Romans fight. You can. I'm just going to show you this. There's nothing really too interesting now. You've seen the bulk of it and the interesting parts. The Romans, he's forced into an attack, and then you can see some nice sandwich action with the Romans caught between pikes, as everything left basically on our side is pikes. I think I only have like a handful of units, 5 units max I've got left now. It looks like I got more because Pinks' entire Pontic army's there, but I don't really. I've taken huge losses in this fight. Roman sends some cav round to take out Pinks' slingers. I send my Pontic swordsman in, and unfortunately then the Roman counters were about the entire Roman army. It looks like about 4 legions worth of men running into me and a triarii. so that Pontic Swords unit will die. I'm moving my general round in the back as well, maybe possibly to pop an Inspire or a Rally if needed over there. Not really sure why I sent him round. The Roman's countering me with his own cav chasing my general away, so I'm just going to basically do a 360 around the entire Roman army and come around the other side. So yeah, the Romans there's no real tactics involved now. The Romans kind of overly committed everywhere. Not got much of a chance. My Pontic Sword was obliterated in the amount of time it took for me to pan the camera away and back again. Pinks moves out of his little fortified position, helps Marley squish the remaining Roman troops and on both sides. Marley unfortunately leaves his skirmishers exposed. The Roman sends a Praetorian cav. I send 2 pikes after it, and my general will come back in to aid in this. Marley's also going to send, you can see another unit coming out of the woods behind him there, Ptolemaic cav in the back of all this. I will actually sacrifice my general here, which was annoying, just to kill that one cav off. I didn't really need to do that. I can't tell whose pikes are who. I think it's it's all Pinks' pikes there. There's some more Romans getting completely annihilated. I actually did something quite I don't know what the word is, cheeky. I moved my pikes in front of Pinks' pikes because he was taking too long to form up. So in that little attack of those Romans I just showed, Pinks had his pikes there, and I moved my heavily depleted pikes just in front of them to get the kills. Kill whoring, it's the way to go, kids. And I was I was just kind of frustrated and wanted to kill things fast and get it out of the way. I was only frustrated because that guy had annoyed me, the one I mentioned earlier. Okay, so it's just if you enjoy watching Romans getting poked to death, here you go. This is what you pay to watch. You don't pay it, but yeah, the saying's true. Again, more like movement orders with my pikes to adjust to the Roman attacking me. Actually, I hadn't noticed this, and I will in a second, and I'll reform my right side because he's going to try to flank it with that Roman squad over there. The other side, I think everything dead. No, there's a couple of units left. So yeah, this is the last vaguely tactical bit. Again, he tries to take me in the flank. I just move my unit out of the way, and I like how Pinks' massive, great big phalanx unit is just there watching. Anyway, this is about it. This is all the tactics and everything for this fight. I tried to explain the ending as best I could. It wasn't, like I said, very tactically important. There's no results screen in the replay, which is a tad annoying, but I remember I killed about 1,200, lost about 1,000. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this fight, and until next time, guys.